The Secretary General of the UN is usually appointed for a 5-year term, and most Secretary Generals, including myself, serve a 2-term, which is 10 years.
And I think that would mean that the Secretary General who serves would see that he had an end of his term coming. He could do the best he could and not be striving while he was in his final months to be getting votes from the 5 permanent members who were going to shape who was going to be the next Secretary General.
Independence, because then you don't need to worry about that you are running a campaign for re-election at the same time, and you can be definitely more independent.
I think the elders believe fundamentally, of course, that this is an infinitely demanding job and a very important one. If we are to make the UN in any way credible, then we have to make sure that the choice and the selection process of the Secretary General is firstly transparent, it is inclusive, and it is a kind of means of strengthening the United Nations bodies themselves.
In the past, the 5 members have got together in secret and they've given just one name to the General Assembly for acceptance or rejection, and that takes away the basic principle on which the original concept was devised.
I think it's an extraordinarily weak and opaque and irrational, in many senses, process, whereas the Security Council entirely dominates, or rather the P5 entirely dominates the process. It is, I think, to some extent, a process that doesn't necessarily look for the best person. They're looking more for the Secretary than the General.
We have also suggested that the General Assembly should be much more involved, in the sense that the Security Council, which initially reviews the candidates and submits a name to the General Assembly, should give the Assembly more than one name, preferably 3 names, and then get the Assembly to choose and to select.